Hello, it's Cecilia Towns, the Sporty Esquire, and you're here with me for another episode of Workin' Women Wednesday, the series where I share with you the things that I'm learning and have learned from my career as an attorney, as an entrepreneur, and as a former athlete in hopes that it'll make you a better employee, a better person, a better boss, all of that stuff, just better. So last week we talked about inner office romances. Again, I am team don't do it. And this week we're going to switch over and start talking about money. You guys know I love to talk about securing the bag. Well, I got a question when I did my Instagram poll about how to negotiate a raise. So I'm all about this. I'm always ready to talk about coinage and how to get more of it. So I know, unfortunately, especially for us women, that sometimes discussing finances, especially at work, negotiating money can be a little intimidating. You know, we aren't really socialized to, go for it and be aggressive when we're talking about money. So I'm hoping that in this discussion, we're going to work through that and we're going to make it so the next time it's your turn to ask for a raise, that you feel confident, you don't feel intimidated, you know what you're doing, and you come out with a win, a W, more money. So the first thing you want to do when you are trying to secure a raise at work is to do your research. Don't walk into any negotiation without a concept of what the market value is for what you do. You can go online and see what people are getting paid at the national level, at the regional level, at your state and in your city. Because you don't want to go into a meeting shooting for the stars where really people are only getting paid, at earth level for what you do. You're going to look unreasonable. Nobody's going to want to negotiate with you. And the flip side, if you know you're getting underpaid, you don't want to come into your negotiation still asking for less than you're actually worth. So do your research. Yeah, that's online. You can also talk to your coworkers. Coworkers are, yes, a great way to figure out what the going rate is for your job at work. People will tell you how much they make. People will tell you how much their other coworkers make. So talk to people. If you aren't comfortable talking to coworkers, you can also then do your research with human resources. Talk to human resources. Tell them you're not asking for individual pay information, but what is the range? What's in the budget to pay somebody in this position? And that can also give you an idea for what you should be asking for. After you've done your research, you also want to make sure that when you come to that meeting, that negotiating table, that you bring your receipts and you bring a plan. When I talk about receipts, I mean make sure that you have proof of what you've done or what you were doing to deserve the raise. People are not going to give you money just to give you money. You need to prove to them that, hey, I'm a stellar employee. I'm a stellar contractor. You need to pay me more. So list your accomplishments over the last year or since you've had the raise. List how you are adding value to the organization, adding value to your clients. Make them know that, hey, make them almost kind of fear like, hey, if I don't pay this person more, they might take their services elsewhere. And it's not bragging, it's just stating the facts. So in addition to your receipts, though, you need to have a plan. So if you come into a negotiation and you say you have one thing you want and one thing only, that's not really a negotiation. You're just asking and you are maybe just hoping that they align with you. When you come to the table to negotiate, you have a price range in mind. So maybe, you really want 10,000, but you'll accept 5. Come with that range in mind. So if they say, no, we can't do that, what else do you want? You can tell them what else you want. The other thing to bring to the table is to bring ideas of what you would accept, what you would like that don't have a dollar, that aren't actually dollars. So sometimes employers, they want to help, they want to, compensate you more, but they can't put more dollars in your hand. What they can do is provide other things. Ask for stock options. Ask for more time off. Ask for the ability to flex your work schedule, to telework or to work different hours on different days. Ask for those things. Ask for tuition. Maybe, you want to go to school. Maybe they can reimburse you for your tuition costs. I think and I know that if you come to the table with more tools in your toolkit, you're more liable to walk away happy and not like, these people don't care about me, I gotta go find a new job. The third thing that you want to do is you want to be mindful of your timing. So some employers are only going to give you a raise or only consider you for a raise during the annual review time. So if that's if you work for somebody like that, it's no need to ask for a raise in January when you know performance review is in September. Just keep documenting everything that you're doing and preparing yourself for September. Others, you could ask for a raise throughout the year, but you need to know if performance review isn't on your manager's mind, you need to know that. And you need to know that, hey, I really need to definitely prove why I need this money, because they're not even thinking about handing out extra checks or increased checks. So just be mindful of the timing. And the fourth and final thing that you want to remember when negotiating is to be professional. So I know that asking for more money can sometimes be emotional. One, because you're intimidated. Two, because you feel like maybe you're not getting compensated fairly. What you have to do, though, is you have to make sure that you treat this like a business transaction and not something so emotional. So the way that you ensure that you're remaining professional is one, that you're setting up a meeting. Have a proper meeting with your client, have a proper meeting with your manager. Let them know in advance what you want to talk about, because if you blindside them, you're not going to get a great result. You want to let them know in advance, like, hey, I'd like to sit down and talk about compensation. I'd like to sit down and talk about negotiating my salary. Be straight up so that when you guys both come to the table, you know exactly why you're here. The other thing that you want to do to keep it from getting emotional is to practice. Practice with your mama, practice with your husband, your wife, your friends, your dog. Practice how you're going to ask, so that when it is time to ask or when it is time to have this negotiation, you feel more confident about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. And you have your plan down pat. So nobody's going to get you off of your game plan. So that's it. When it's time to negotiate your raise, do your research, bring your receipts in your plan. Make sure that you're mindful of the timing of it all, and be professional. And I promise you, you'll walk out of there with more money. You'll walk out of there with just a happier disposition. So in addition to this great advice that I give you for Working Women Wednesday, Gladiators is hosting a major event, the Gladiators Women in Sports Empowerment Summit, January 30th, 2019 in Atlanta, Georgia. We'll be talking about this exact stuff: professional development, professional growth, financial literacy, personal wellness. You'll hear from experts in the sports industry about how they, succeeded and continue to succeed in their careers. You'll meet like-minded women. I promise you, it'll be, if you don't live in Atlanta, it's worth the trip. If you live in Atlanta, it's worth taking the day off of work. Visit the website gladiatorssummit.com for all the great information about the summit. I really hope to see you there, because I have no doubt that it's going to be a life-changing experience. So this has been Cecilia Towns, the Sporty Esquire, for another episode of Working Women Wednesday. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.